All right, good evening, everyone. It is August 5th at 6 p.m. I'll call the council meeting to order and seeing all council is present. If anyone has anything to declare for a conflict of interest, they can do so now. Seeing none. Addition, deletion, or the approval of the agenda, I'll be. Anybody has anything to add or delete? Approval of the minute.
That is
You want a
motion.
motion?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll need a motion for that to accept the agenda as submitted. Moved by Councilor Lori, seconded by Councilor Clark. Any questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Contrary minded? Motion carried. Approval of the minutes. This will be for the regular council meeting of July 8th, 2026, and the committee of the whole, July 15th, 2026. I'll look for a motion to move those.
Make motion to move both as submitted.
Moved by Councilor Daly, seconded by Councilor Thompson. Question on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Contrary minded, motion carried. Presentation to council is 6A, which is the take action on radon. And I'm assuming we're all set up for one.
Hi, are you able to see and hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. Or see my presentation at least.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Good. Well, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share our results of the 100 Tusket Challenge that we worked with Fundy Shores on. My name is Pam Workington, and I am the project manager of the 100 Tusket Challenge program. It is a free program funded by Health Canada. We are able to work with communities across the country. It's turnkey, so we provide all the resources, but we always like to start by saying we really appreciate the connection with the local community. So Linda was a great community liaison for us to help support Bring It to Your Community. And that's an important part of our program. The goal of our program is to raise awareness on radon and distribute kits to help them make them more accessible to participants, but also generate some data. So I do have some data that I'll share with you today, as well as just talk about legacy programs and to continue radon awareness in the community. We have worked with communities across the country, coast to coast. This is our 8th year of the program, and we have a return rate of about 74%. And then we also have done research to show that participants that have high levels above the 200 becquerel level, about 50% have taken action to reduce it across our program wide. So as I dig into the results, I'll talk about kind of how we support communities with that. We do include a list of all of our communities in case you're interested in who else we've worked with, but I'll quickly skip through those. I think Linda provided you with a copy of the slides, so you can check those out later. Before I get to the results, just want to do a quick reminder of radon. It is the leading cause of lung cancer in Canada. Health Canada has estimated about 3,000 Canadians per year are dying of radon-related lung cancer. And of all of our provinces, New Brunswick is unfortunately leading. In the 2012 survey that Health Canada did, New Brunswick was one of the top province in the country. In subsequent surveys, other provinces are starting to give you some competition, but you continue to lead in the number of homes that do have elevated level. Now, radon is found all across our country. It comes from uranium. Uranium is in the soil. It's a solid. It's radioactive, which means it just spontaneously decays and eventually becomes radon. Radon is a gas, so when it moves up out of the soil, it can enter our homes or really any building that has contact with the soil. So we talk about it in the basement because obviously we want to test kind of for the source, but it doesn't just stay in the basement, and it's also not only in buildings with basements. Any buildings that have contact with the ground can have elevated radon. So Health Canada recommends all buildings be tested using detectors that would test for 3 months during the heating season, and that any levels above 200 would be reduced. And so at this point of our program, each participant should have received their individual report. They would have got it by email. So anybody that hasn't received it, they can certainly reach out to us. We know emails come and go, and there's lots to keep track of these days. And so if you didn't get a report, we're happy to chase that. Along with their one-page report, participants would have also received a one-page information sheet. This is to help with understanding what the number on the report includes. So there is information about the health risk on that one-page information, as well as the next steps for mitigation, and then a link to where you can find a certified professional, because there are a list of certified professionals across the country and certainly in the New Brunswick area. So our program in Fundy Shores, we were able to distribute 35 detectors. From those detectors, we saw 24 detectors returned. So we do have an online survey feature. So 23 people used the online survey feature. One person didn't. So we're still chasing a little bit of information from the one report. So again, if someone didn't get a report, it may be because we need sort of start and end dates to confirm that. So that might also be helpful if they reach out to us. And so for the program, we had 66% of the participants returned their detectors. There are some people that probably still have that detector in place and maybe they forgot to set it up. So if you hear from those people, we are happy to support them. They can put it in place now, or they can wait till the fall. They can mail it back to us and we'll make sure that it gets analyzed and that we get them a report. But they can reach out to us, or they can check the instructions that were included in their report. So from the 23 reports that were completed, here's the breakdown of radon levels. Almost 35% of them were in the green and also 35% in the yellow. So the green represents reports between under 100, and then the yellow represents between 1 and 200. And then we did have 30% of the reports were above 200. And so that was just in the 200 to 600 level. We do also, specify if we see things that are above the 600 or 1,000, but these reports were all in that 2 to 600 level. We do collect a little bit extra data as well. All the participants who completed our optional survey had single detached homes. They were all owners. We did see all the participants that, again, completed our optional questions. This was actually their first time testing for radon. And then we also asked questions about radon systems. So the building code has changed through the years, and many homes now are being built with that radon rough-in. But, some homes may also have passive or mitigation systems. So we do ask those questions, but you can see most of the homes either didn't have anything or just had or they didn't know what they had. There was a couple though with that radon rough-in, which is the current most recent building code that's in force now in New Brunswick. There is a change coming to the code, and so we anticipate that passive stack will be coming once New Brunswick adopts the National Building Code for 2025. Another thing that we collect is age of the home. And so you can see this top bar is people who didn't know or didn't provide us with the age of construction, but we do break this down by decade. And then we just simply provide it with two categories. So green is the ones that are below 200, red are the ones above 200. And so you can see that this is the number of data points. So with the small number of data points in the program, there is, spread across all the decades, small data points at each decade, but you can see that there is high levels across different ages. Typically, when we look at this at a community and then a provincial level, we're seeing that there is no age of home that doesn't have potential for elevated radon. And so often we see these bars red and green across the decades. So our message for people is that regardless of the age of construction, they should be testing their home for radon. It doesn't, it's not just in the old homes or just in the new homes. It can be in any age of construction. The other question we often get is, where, and so it often is distributed. So it could be in one home on the street, and then the neighbors could have high levels. So also it doesn't matter what street that you live on, every house should be tested for radon. And then just lastly, I mentioned that New Brunswick has many homes that are above guidelines. So these are some of the other projects that we've worked with in the province. And so you can see, 30% is pretty close to it's just slightly above the provincial average, but certainly you're not alone with other communities in the province. So to date, this is the data provided to you to sort of answer some of the general questions. This is now the public report that we will share out. We've posted it on our website and we'll share with our participants. And so it just has the simple 2 pages. The first page is information about this radon survey and the number of homes and the percentage above 200. The second page is, again, more of that information to help them with additional information on radon. And then the last few slides in the deck that you should have is just some general information to help you. If you are interested in running the program again, we do get funded for 1 year, but we can help support a community if they want to do it again. We also are waiting to hear, I know the province has provided free kits through the library program last year, and so we're looking to find out what their program is. So as soon as we know what the province is doing, we'll share that information with you as well. And then there is links for the certified professional. There is a national grant program. So if somebody can't afford radon mitigation, they can apply through the Canadian Lung Association for a $1,500 grant. And then there is radon documents from Health Canada. These are radon action guides for municipalities. So I just included those for reference that you can check out. And thank you for your time. I'm certainly happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Pam. Yeah, I appreciate the feedback and that. I just have a couple things before I go to council. One, is there any follow-up with those that are at the 200 or higher? Like, is there any further follow-up that in case that number increases, or is it just that's it for until the next one?
So they would have received the report, and our recommendation is that they would take action to reduce it. We will follow up with a survey. So every couple of years, we will check in with them to see if there is any information that they need. But also we have hosted a webinar. What we found in doing our surveys is that one of the barriers people have to mitigation is just they need more information. So we'll be hosting another webinar in the fall, and so we'll reach out to those over 200 to join the webinar, and then they can ask some questions in case they have any about the next steps.
Okay, great, thanks. I will go around the table to council just to be sure we're not missing any questions from anyone.
I just have a quick question, just out of curiosity. In the report, does it say like how to, lower the levels? Okay, so
In the public report with the community summary, sort of on the second page of it, there's a simplified little diagram and just kind of a quick text, and then direction to our website. So we do have more information on our website as well. Yeah, good question, thanks.
See.
I just had one question.
Yep, go ahead.
The 1,500 that subsidizes is there an income category that goes with that as well? Okay.
It is on the Canadian Lung Association website. So I think they disclose, or they had been disclosing what the median income for each province is. And so the qualification is that the applicants would be under that median income.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
One last. Yep.
Is that a good one? So everyone that did the radon testing should have received an email
Yes.
of the result?
Yeah.
Okay, what if they didn't?
Yeah, then tell us and we will make sure that you get it. So yeah, that's kind of why we like to do these public presentations, because it's a really important step that they get that report, and we try and email them, but the email didn't go through. So let us know if you didn't get it and we'll make sure that you do.
Absolutely, thank you.
And tell your neighbors, sorry, if I could say one more thing, let your neighbors know too, because that's why we do this as a community, so that chit chat can help with people with that process. So they may not have gotten their report either, so let them know to chase it down.
See no one else, I think you're off the hook.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. And again, if there are follow-up questions, I'm happy to support those.
Thank you so much for attending.
All right. Bye.
Okay. And we're good?
Mhm.
All right, number 7, business arising from the minutes, old business. 7A, the community complex with the proposed scope of work and the costing, or the costing that was attached to it. Was in your council package. And per just council's discussion at the committee of the whole meeting, CAO Brown secured a quote to redesign the leasable portion of the building to encompass a fitness center, childcare center, and the office space. These recommendations were based on the feedback we received from the public engagement sessions. In addition, FBM will be providing more detailed renderings and costing to support council moving forward. If council wishes to pursue these updates, please advise staff. And because of the quoting on that, we will need a motion of council to move that forward.
Move that we proceed with the,
I'll second.
Moved by Councillor Top, second Councillor Dealey. Questions on the motion?
I have a question. It does look like, once they get this portion done, are we still able to go back to them and ask for a few changes for free, or is that gonna be additional cost
If
at
it-
the time?
If the changes are made prior to like the October meeting, it'll all be included in those discussions, but. We are working with engineers and architects and they do charge by the hour, so. If we do want additional
So is
changes
that-
beyond what we're getting right now, or beyond that scope of work, if it changes, then we will be
I think
charged
we should
accordingly.
probably, have another go over, it, maybe at a meeting, just to go.
Yeah.
Just to be sure that.
Yeah.
measurement, did we ever get any measurement?
No, that's what, this is gonna include a
that's-
site plan, a
But
floor
once-
plan, exterior rendering, and a 3D modeling of it for us. So it's gonna be significantly more detailed than what we have now.
If we approve this now, all the things, including the daycare, will be included in the cost regardless.
Yes.
That becomes-
It's those 3 sections that council had requested to be fully identified. In that former, what was once called just leasable space, it will be a fitness center, childcare, and office space.
So just to be clear, if we see this and we don't approve, say we're all unanimous that we don't like this rendering, it's just not fitting with what we expect to see. If we wanted another rendering, we would be
We'd have to.
paid.
Yes, but I wouldn't be at the same level because they have to take it from our preliminary concept design up to an actual floor plan.
Okay,
So once we get it to the floor plan, it's just moving some walls around, the charges would be minimal compared to the 26 that's.
Okay.
Quoted.
I
I still.
that was my only concern.
Yeah, you good?
That was my only concern looking at the quote, is if we were looking at that every time we wanted to see something different, then I would have to. No,
My concern is around the kindergarten or childcare, I'm sorry. There's a lot of rules and regulations about what you have to have in place for that, so the cost to convert it from leasable space per se to that. There, do we know what that cost is?
That's actually part of their research that they have to do around this, that's part of that $26,000 is finding out the rules and regulations for New Brunswick to make that a usable space.
Because at one point we were talking about possibly using this. And someone said, we're not legal for it, we're not set up correctly for it. So the cost could be considerable to make it.
During the
usable
construction,
space.
yes, and they're also updating the Class D estimate through this process too.
I think it sounds like a lot of money now, but it could be a really good investment. If, knowing that we can make the right choice in the future.
Agreed.
Any further questions, concerns? Seeing none, I will We do have a motion, so I'll be looking for all those in favor to move the motion to contrary minded. Deputy Mayor. Okay. And since you did vote, I'll do anything further.
No, it's just I'm concerned about the childcare requirements.
Okay. Move forward, subdivision bylaw proposal. Council was provided a presentation by our planning director, Alex Henderson, of the Southwest New Brunswick Regional Service Commission regarding subdivision bylaws. Council requests that this item be brought forward to regular council meeting for consideration based on that presentation. I will need a motion by council to direct staff to develop the draft bylaw.
I move to direct staff to develop that bylaw.
Okay, moved by Deputy Mayor, second by Councillor Thompson. Question on the motion. Seeing none, all those in favor, contrary minded, motion carried. 2027 budget engagement. During the July Committee of the Whole meeting, civic engagement was discussed to be a portion of the 2027 budget process. Attached to the CAO's report is the draft questionnaire. If council is accepting of this draft, it can be finalized and posted for 30 days on our social media channels. We'll be looking for a motion on that.
Make a motion to proceed with the budget engagement.
Moved by Councillor Deely, seconded by
I second it.
Councillor Clark. Question on the motion.
My question is, like, if we approve this and the questionnaires gone out?
Yeah, I could have it most likely up by Friday for 30 days.
Yeah. Just with like the screenshots that you have, is it possible to have just like a description of like the purpose of it? I didn't see that within.
Let me
the
just double check what it
screenshots.
is.
Unless I missed it.
Alls I have here is be part of the 2027 budget consultation process. Have an idea, want to share your thoughts, complete the survey provided. Is what those little bubbles say, and I do apologize, it is small. Do we need more description to that, do you feel?
Yeah, well, I was trying to put myself in a first, you know, if I were to write an idea, I think I'd want more like, what would be, what's the overall intent? Like, I know it. Yeah, maybe the wording, I don't know, maybe I'm just being too picky, but. And I did miss those little keywords. So
Well, and they're very small,
Yeah.
so
Maybe.
But the questions are fine, I'm fine with all.
I'll draft a little description in it. If you wish.
Want to do a motion for that? Good. Okay. So any further questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Contrary minded? Motion carried. Receipt of public petition, Route 790 in Wetmore Creek West. The petition is attached to your council package.
Sorry, that's supposed to be east, that is my fault.
East. Councilors present a petition at the July Committee of the Whole meeting by Mrs. Kathy Grandemeyer. Should council wish to move the petition forward, a motion will be, if accepted, will be forwarded to DTI and our MLA Ian Lee. And I will be looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to move that forward.
Moved by Councilor Deal, seconded by Councilor Laurie. Question on the motion?
Not a question, just a comment. I didn't have a signature page, so if you could contact Kathy, I just got the actual petition cover,
You didn't get no signature.
no signature page from her.
There was 100%.
Okay, but yeah, I just don't have them.
I have a question.
So, so we're gonna get that before we can send it off.
Yes,
Okay.
that'll be.
Okay, there was 100 signatures on this petition.
170.
And how many people was it taken to in the area it affects? Was it just 100 houses they went to? Because I'm
No.
getting people telling me they weren't approached.
Right,
They
So,
weren't approached.
it was done on a volunteer basis, and if anybody wanted to step up and take a paper and go and get some signatures, they were more than welcome to do so. And there was only 3 volunteers that did that, so it was a matter of getting as many houses in that area as you could. It also went to, the soccer game, cause there was a lot of people there that also traveled the road, and we were actually told of an incident that happened with a cement truck that nearly rolled onto a car that same day. So by somebody who signed a petition that evening as well.
Hmm.
So no, it didn't get to everybody in Fun Day Shores, I wish they could have, but you're only 2 or 3 people trying to get this done as fast as possible and get the word out
I
there.
understand,
And of course,
but
everybody
there
wants
are a
to
lot
do
of
that.
people that aren't aware of this petition, they're just
Right.
finding out now. And
Right.
we're sending it off to government for major changes to an intersection. That's their concern,
Right,
it's not just mine.
yeah, I don't think they were in a position to hold a public meeting on that, so.
Maybe it shouldn't
Yeah.
be done differently, that's.
Yeah.
I'm done.
No, that's fair. I can only accept the.
I can only go by
petition,
what
move
my
forward if it
constituents,
passes.
my board
Yeah,
are
no,
telling
it's fair.
me, so.
I think it is, and I didn't go back and look, but the names and addresses are attached, right? The address for the names.
That's what she's.
Okay.
We need to have.
Yeah, that piece of paper is,
Because
pieces
that's-
of paper, the ones that we need to
I
have.
know that is what they will look at. And in talking with our MLA, I don't believe that the petition can be presented to the House until October, so just so heads up.
It's simple.
Yeah, till October, so. No, so any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, contrary minded? Motion carried and.
No, I'm
Oh,
contrary.
Councilor Thompson, sorry for not picking up on that.
That's okay. Oh,
Okay. And as soon as we get the other information on that, I'll make sure it gets off to our MLA. 7E is Mink Brook property, Department of Transportation, letter is attached. The Mink Brook property was discussed July committee of the whole. And requires a final decision of council on how it wishes to move forward. So I'll need a motion. Moved by Councillor Laurie, seconded by,
To move forward, sorry, is that your
To
motion?
purchase the property or to
Purchase
not,
Or not?
To purchase.
I'll second it.
yeah, so I misread that, I'm sorry about that. I was looking just to have the motion just for the discussion, but,
You can ask
okay,
for a
no,
friendly-
so
amendment.
it's there. I just moved and seconded, Councillor Ward, seconded by Councillor Clark to, for the purchase.
For the purchase.
Okay. Questions on the motion?
Not so much a question, but a concern. I'm concerned about the price and the size of the property. Given the location and the price and compared to what we paid for our other portion of property that we purchased and got the land for. This piece of property seems extremely high for not even 1 acre.
And that was my concern at first, and I was thinking, we can get it, hold on to it, and then, if in a few years decide it's not gonna work, we can always sell it.
I just think we need to have the property for access to the water, even though there's problems there right now.
That property doesn't have that.
This isn't the one,
No,
okay,
So it's, there's no access to.
Oh, I
the end,
misunderstood.
So there'd be no
I
access.
misunderstood, I thought it was the one that was accessing,
This was the one at the part further in.
okay.
I just know that it's so hard to get property, around here, economic development, community development and everything like that. And yes, it's not a great price. It would be nice to have and figure something to do with it. And like I said, if we can't do something with it, we can sell.
It was an acre of land or not?
It's just under, I believe.
Just under. okay.
Wait. Wait.
Just under. Any further questions? So if I have the motion, you have the motion, right, that the motion be to purchase the
For
land?
20,000.
It's 20,000 was the purchase price.
Yeah.
Well,
I gotta double check it, yeah, that was what my notes are.
No further questions on the motion, looking forward, all those in favor of moving the motion forward? 2, 3. Against.
Who was the other-
Um,
Who was the other?
Councilor Lori, Councilor Clark, and Councilor Thompson are 4. And contrary minded is 2. And my vote would be, oh yeah, it's not fire, it's okay. Okay,
But
actually, my vote will be 4
So
with the vote.
I was looking, so that we are purchasing, that's what I'm understanding here.
I know it doesn't, haven't catch me off guard when I have to vote, like, come on.
Well, even they vote.
Make it work. Great mental sweat. Yeah, so we need 4 and
I
2.
think I will.
Okay,
Okay,
I'll make arrangements with legal to purchase property.
okay, so motion's carried. Thank you everyone for your conversation. 8, department reports. 8A, general government, mayor's report. My report is online. If there's anything outstanding from that, I don't have it in front of me tonight, but certainly question me on it. There was a few extra things added that I didn't add out because of where it was right at the month's end. Again, DTI, just to be on the record, major issues. We're still not. We're butting our heads up a lot against the brick wall with them. I do want to say the local guys are 100%, you know, good to work with. They want to do a lot more, but they feel their hands are tied. We have reached out to the province a couple times. We're not gaining much with them, and I just feel that it's I just want to share that I know how frustrating it is to the members of the community, because we feel the same frustration, and I certainly do, of dealing with the minister's office. So just want to say that we're continuing to move forward. I know it seems like a long process. I have to keep encouraging people though. If you have an issue, whether it's with your culvert, whether it's ditching, a road that's not up to standard, please go online and fill out the DTI form on our website. It makes it a whole lot easier, even when it does get to me, to deal with the minister's office for tracking and to have that paperwork started by the homeowner or the resident of Fundy Shores. So please go online, fill it out, and then go from there with the process. And I think that was it for mine. Councilor's report, Deputy Mayor.
Online,
One,
and I guess I don't have any comments, unless that's a question.
okay. Thank you, Councilor Lori, Councilor report and Envision meeting report.
Yes, so I was submitted online, and do you want a little synopsis of the meeting in that, or? It's okay, or?
And unless the or council has anything, maybe they can just, if you have questions
If any other questions, I can do.
on it.
I have a question, more so of a comment. Those trails not in Fundy Shores.
It's the north part.
Yeah, but it's technically not in Fundy Shores, because we went through this last year as well. So the actual trail head won't start in Fundy Shores, it's going to start in Fundy Rural District. Am I not correct?
Southwest Rural District.
Yeah.
Southwest Rural
Yeah, it's in the
District. So yeah, I'm just wondering, I guess maybe why we were still
So all
looking at
20,000 acres are not in Fundy Shores.
that. The trail that was proposed, if
Mhm.
it's the same trail. if
It's
been
near
changed.
Eagle Mountain.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not
so
in
that's-
Fundy.
Yeah, so basically, that's where the tip of it would be.
Okay.
And so obviously there's, you know, you have to. There's various gradients of trails, and so that'd be more like the more difficult one, and then there'd be more beginner friendly down lower.
Mhm.
And so then you need like parking and road access and that kind of stuff, so it would influence, and then also it would certainly. Yeah, so yeah,
That was my understanding, is at some point, again, I don't think it would be quickly, but at some point with the growth that it was coming
exactly.
this way.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, exactly, so right now, that meeting is all about them trying to get funding to hire a company out of Quebec to do that initial assessment of what are the possibilities for the trail. I had a really nice conversation with the guy from Quebec, and he was completely, he absolutely loved the area. He thinks that it has extremely high potential, which is quite rare. And so, you know, everyone seems excited. There's 20 stakeholders from the Hotel St. John to different investors in that meeting, to kind of build the St. John Trail system, which includes a new trail out of 7 Mile Lake. And so if that moves forward, it would, of course, affect, you know, tourism and perhaps people who want to sit up and glamping and other things like that. We bring more hotels, like, you know, places to stay in Fundy Shores, and just kind of keep them updated on what they're brings like that, yeah.
So are they having these, the economic impact analysis, the field characterization studies, are they having them currently done?
It'd be in the fall.
But they are moving ahead with the studies to see if it's
So
feasible.
I haven't received an email saying that they received the funding, so that it was just a presentation
Okay.
to for Envision to get that funding to move forward with it.
That's awesome. I hope they update you.
Yes, yeah. Thank you.
So it's not, it's more. It's not in Fundy Shores, but they would use us for. Hotel accommodations and like the actual 7 Mile Lake isn't part of Fundy Shores or.
Yes, it is. It's bordered between the Southwest Rural District and Fundy Shore, so it'd be kind of on the
On the
line.
border.
So,
okay.
and again, only my interpretation of what I
So is there
got from it.
someone working, someone from here that's working on these trails right now? There's someone working on trails in that area.
I think that was the
There is.
last habitat, wasn't it? No,
I'm not
Then-
sure.
then-
I just know it's out
that was the
in the
other,
Pearl area,
that was the cross. Could be wrong.
mountain biking
Yes,
kind of thing.
remember we had the presentation?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's two different,
So it's two
And then
different
this
things.
St. John cycling
Yeah.
that I went to.
Okay,
so it was two,
So
yeah,
would they be in competition to a certain
With-
extent with the land?
St. John Cycling has leased the land for 20,000 acres. So it's kind of
so
like,
the
So
other
they
one
have
must be on
leased
private
land on
property,
their
is that the
property?
case?
I don't have a map of exactly where, I could request it.
Well,
Because I know there's somebody who's been working there since the spring,
yeah, and that was within Fundy Shores, that was down this way.
this way,
Yeah,
okay,
so that was the mountain.
so it
biking.
is on the border.
Yeah.
Okay.
So only my understanding from it was that. Future as they move or they progress along is that then it will be
They
coming
will come
into
in
Fundy
our-
Shores or it'll be coming our way. So they were reaching out to, I guess, the other areas and Fundy Shores was included in that, so I'm assuming Envision has already. Seen that, you know, we're gonna play a role at some point, I don't know when that's.
Is Synergy working? with
No,
Envision?
this came through with
No, this is
Envision.
just like an initial like assessment to see what the possibilities are, and it was like a 1 hour meeting, and it was really about like St. John cycling as a whole, not just this new potential trail, so it didn't get all the attention that, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I did ask a few questions, but
It was kind of a first meeting and it was kind of sent to us kind of last minute and what. So what I did is Ann asked and we sent Ann to represent on the. Council or Economic Development side, and I said, and any future meetings that we would include Deputy Mayor Sonia in it for Deputy Mayor and Tourism, so it's. That way it kind of may cross over on the both meetings, so. So any future meetings, it'll be the two working in conjunction. Sorry about that.
Sorry, why are you saying so?
Kind of put it in your time,
It's
but,
okay.
any further questions for Councillor Wolby? Perfect, thank you. Councillor Clark,
Submitted report online.
any questions? Seeing none, Councillor Dealey.
Can I
Oh,
say one thing?
Yep.
I'd like to compliment both you and Linda on the wonderful job you did.
Yes.
Last week.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
It was wonderful.
That's great.
It was a long, great day. And thank you so
It's a
much
good day.
for your help and everything.
Councillor Dealey.
My report was submitted online and, please self-explanatory.
Councillor Thompson.
Mine was submitted online as well. As well as the committee. Also, I attended the Eastern Charlotte Chamber of Commerce meeting. And met the board of directors, and they are planning a golf tournament fundraiser in October the 23rd. And they're asking, I just got the email last night. They would like us to kind of promote the golf tournament and promote at this meeting membership being promoted in our area as well to local business.
At the Hollows? The one in St. George?
Yes, it's through the Eastern Charlotte Chamber of Commerce and they're doing.
So I think,
It's a
yeah,
fundraiser.
May I?
yeah, no, go ahead.
Just, would they be able to provide, social media?
They have it up on their webpage right now. I shared it on my own private page today.
Okay, could you ask that they send me their,
I could ask them to send you.
whatever they're posting on their socials, so it's just a matter of us sharing?
And the same as they're looking for sponsors for this from local businesses and it's in the email. Fundy Shores and Bremen, and they're hoping they'll come forward. And they want platinum and silver sponsors and all those sponsors are all different.
What's the
sponsor.
fundraiser for?
It's for Eastern Charlotte Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, it's for them.
Operate.
Okay.
So I think the best, as CAO said, is to get all the information and forward it right to
And
Linda,
forward
and
to
then
her.
that way she can. Kind of decipher what
I'll
comes out, what
email
doesn't.
later.
Okay.
Get her to do.
And thank you for attending that, that was kind of a new one for us this year, so.
Yes, it was interesting.
And
very
nothing,
interesting.
you had nothing from Pratt for,
I filed it online.
okay. Thank you. CAO report, the council report is online, and I'll look for a motion to move that report.
Motion to accept as submitted.
Moved by Councillor Dealey, seconded by Deputy Mayor Sonia. Question on the motion. Seeing none, all those in favor? Contrary minded, motion carried. Planning inspection report, the June report and spreadsheet, July report and spreadsheet are online from the planning director. I'm looking for a motion to accept that report for the both reports.
I move to accept the reports.
Also,
Moved and seconded. Question on the motion.
Not a question, but just, comment, 7 new dwelling permits to date, 3 in the last period, so it was really good.
Yeah, and I know there was up at the Regional Service Commission too, so across the region, it's our elements. No. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Contrary minded. Motion carried. Public safety. Fire department report is online for a motion to accept that report.
Make a motion to accept.
also.
Second, she's fast. Second by Councillor Thompson, question on the motion. Seeing none, all those in favor? Contrary minded. Motion carried. Dog control. Report is submitted online. I'll look for a motion.
I move we accept the.
I second it.
Question on motion.
I have one. I was a little concerned that they actually specified names on that report for us.
That was for the council copy. I did not add
Okay.
that to the online one because I didn't have time to do redactions today, so I wanted to get as much information as I could.
So can we make sure when we get those reports, when they do vote, that there's nothing? Cause I just hate to see a mistake come up with somebody's name be gone out there for whatever reason.
Yes,
Okay.
sure, that's part of why after I get it all into one binder online, or on my server, I go through and do necessary redactions.
Okay.
I have a question, were we able to find out what the DCO patrols were? It says that they had 13 DCO patrols.
That is drive-throughs, like the area.
That's what we're not asking them to do. Because we did not want that to happen, it was on a call basis.
That was for unsightly.
But that was with also the SPCA.
Don't
think so.
believe so, we didn't specify that with them.
I mean,
I don't
look
believe-
back at that, I thought there was something specific at the time, because I remember having a complaint from a couple people saying that. If we were going to sign that make sure that wasn't a part of it, because there was an issue in the past. So when I seen that, I was like, oh, they're doing patrols without us, no, so, yeah, okay, I'll reread that, cause maybe I missed it. And then the other thing on the report,
With the place that was outside of our area.
yeah.
They did, I did send that back to them and they said they would remove that, they were sorry about the
Right.
line.
But did they know that it wasn't Fundy Shores?
The actual receiving officer lived in Fundy Shores, so should have known that. But and then they should have also known it was St. John County, not Charlotte County, but anyways, yeah, so that's all I have.
And there will be coming up on the agenda further discussion on the whole bylaw. As we know. I had a mover seconder, all those in favor of the report, contrary minded. Motion carried. Economic Development Synergy Report for June and July, both reports, I need a motion to move those.
I'll make a motion.
Move. Councilor Deal, second by Councilor Lori. Questions on the motion or on the reports? Seeing none, all those in favor, contrary minded, motion carried. Standing Committee reports, Community Development Committee. Nothing, better luck. Economic Development Committee, no report. Prac Committee, already done, noted. Public Safety Committee, no report. Recreation Committee, I know there's a report.
There's a report online, and I guess this will be just as good as time as any to put it out there, but the upcoming Fundy Shores Community Days coming up August the 14th to the 16th. And we've had a wonderful group of counselors and volunteers working really hard on putting that together, so I hope people come out and enjoy the weekend. And other than that, that's all I have.
And I would also say this, because we are live, because we hear it all the time, so about communication, about sending stuff out, we did do a flyer. A mail out, it's on our social media, so I guess the other thing too is. When you get these things is to be sure that you tell your neighbors and your friends and sort of pass the word around the community and. I think the more we talk about in the community, then the more it sticks in people's heads and the more people tend to come out. If we just take the flyer and trash it or stick it up on our somewheres, then it don't. And I know the last Councillor Daly has done a great job on the Recreation Committee and Community Days has been a success. It's one of our good things that we do for the whole community and it's a great event, so I hope that people really do take the time and come out and enjoy everything and all the hard work that's been put in. So thank you. Tourism Committee? Nothing. Okay. Correspondence 10, we received the letter back from the Department of Minister of Transportation. Again, I think it was a lot of coercing, if that's the right word, on our part to get the letter. It was a few months before they responded, and then the letter we received was kind of a templated letter, so I will leave that as is. And we also, from the Minister of Transportation, the updates to the Highway Act notifications that was in the package. And correspondence issued. We just have the letters that you guys received, and we'll get another one tonight in the morning, just that we'll be sending out the next day or two. Approval of payments, general government for July invoices. I'll need a motion to accept and move that.
I'm looking at that.
Deputy Mayor Sonia, seconded by Councillor Dealey. Question? Seeing none. All those in favor? Contrary-minded, motion carried. Approval of accounts, income and expense report for July 29th, 2026. I need a motion. Moved by Councillor Dealey, seconded by Deputy Mayor Sonia. Question? Seeing none, all those in favor? Contrary-minded, motion carried. New business 13A, dog control bylaw. Information related to this topic is available in the CAO's report. Currently, the draft amendment is not available. Staff are hopeful to have it prepared for discussion prior to month's end. And I will say by the amount, if I'm good to say that, the amount of calls that I've received, I think we do need a deep discussion on this. We need changes to the bylaw, and I'm hoping, as I've said to many residents of the community, I'm hoping to have this done, and it's at the wish of council, of course. But I'm hoping to have this expedited as quick as we can and put in place, and I hope we can tighten it up a lot. I know there's several issues. It's not just dogs, there's animals in general, and you know, I'll say this is I wish we wouldn't have to make bylaws and we wouldn't have to make rules. If everybody could do as should be expected of them and play nice and neighborly, I don't think we would have to. But unfortunately, we have to tighten things up because not everybody feels the same way. And the amount of calls I've received in the last month, a few weeks, is astounding. And I'm sure as council has received as well, and we've had this discussion around the table before. So I get it, we live in a rural area. I know I'm talking a lot here tonight, and it's because we're live, and I'm hoping, you know, I know I'm gonna get some calls afterwards, but we live in a rural area, I get it. You know, but that doesn't give everybody the right to do what they want, and where they want. We still have to obey things and be neighborly, and unfortunately, you know, as we've seen, throughout Fundy Shores, not just one area, not just one person, it's becoming an issue. And I really hope that we can have this tightened up and brought back into place. I know everybody will throw things at me because they know I'd like to be fast, but I'm hoping for October's meeting. If we can get things done by legal and done through the process that we have to go through, then just so people will know that we're gonna try to get this, we're gonna try to get it right. And if anybody else has anything further to add on that?
My question, it's, you know, I've, like you, I've had a lot of discussions, a lot of calls. The last few weeks, and being in New River, you know, there's just a lot of confusion around what we're allowed to do, because, especially with the park. You know, dogs have never been allowed there, however, they've been tolerated. And now it seems like that tolerance is now gone. And now residents are quite upset because, you know, they play by the rules and all of a sudden they say, well, you can't have your dog on the beach when they've been doing it forever and generations before them have been doing that. And so there's a lot of frustrations where it's like all of a sudden, and you know, they're the ones playing by the rules. And so I don't really know what to tell them because I know it's provincial. So yes.
And I guess to my conversation, that's what I get. I 100% get it, and I feel bad. Because there are a lot of people, whether it's, I don't wanna specify any, whether it be the beach. Whether it be a ball field, whether it be, I get it, nobody's around, you're playing by the, you're letting your dog, your animal, I guess, off. You're cleaning up after, you're doing all the right things, you see somebody coming, you're putting your dog back on the leash, you're trying to be very neighborly and do the right thing. But unfortunately, not everybody is doing that, and that's why we're into the positions that we're in. And yes, the beach has come up a lot. And the signs are posted there. And again, I think comes down to the one or two that are playing by the rules, that's the ones who I'm feeling bad for, is because I know they're doing the right things. But the calls and the amount of problems we're getting, so. Like I encourage people, if somebody's doing things drastically wrong, and there's a process there even at the beach to go through or over to the office or to follow that process. My hopes would be the same as with our contract with SPCA, is we've said this the last time, is I don't like heavy-handed approaches. I like people to come in and think outside the box. And whether they have to issue a fine, take the dog or animal or whatever, I would hope that they can use good judgment. And say, resident A is doing all good things, we're gonna give them a warning, we're gonna follow up with them. But resident B, this is the 15th time, this is, there's an issue here, then they can proceed. How they need to it, and I don't know if it's our bylaw currently. Or the contractor or how it works, but I just think there's that gray area in there everybody seems to be floating, if I'm using that right. And that's what I'm hoping to tighten up. I'm hoping council will come together and bring that and tighten it up and say, we can still allow A, B, and C with some flexible area. But D, E, and F really needs to be zoned in. I think that's where.
Even with updates to the new bylaw, that will have zero effect on the beach, right?
Well, there's nothing we can do about it.
That's
New
what
River.
I mean.
There's nothing we can do with New River per se, but there isn't. There's nothing we can do, but we can educate. And we can tell people, here's the process. And I know a couple that I spoke to didn't even realize there was a process there. It's like, I got pictures sent to me where they walked by the sign that said no dogs on the beach. And then let their dogs off the leash and ran across the beach.
I was there,
So, yeah, so it's.
dogs running.
But again,
I've-
and I'm not saying this to be out to anybody, any resident of Fundy Shores, because I appreciate the phone calls, I certainly will do what I can. But the problem is calling a counselor or me and saying you need to come down here now and do something, that's not gonna work. But if you had to went over to the office and
Exactly.
file that paperwork with them at the office and say, this is the third time and you need to do something, then I can call the office or we can call Parks New Brunswick, and then we can work and try to come up with a solution. But I think everybody's going, and I get it, everybody's going to the top and then working instead of going through the process. But I get it.
And what happens when the season's done, so end of September, park closes, is Fundy Shores take over there?
No, so what we did ask in a meeting with the park is I asked for better signage.
Yeah.
And I asked for signage outside or at the gate, so when they are closed or after hours, that they would post, and I think it was something that we could even work with them on of putting like our website or the SPCA number or a toll-free number, something on the outside, because I found when I went down, there wasn't great signage of
No,
of who to call. It said no dogs or no pets, but. Who do you call if you're in the trail and get attacked or bit or chased or whatever, then you come out and you're still no further ahead. So we did ask for better signage. I'm hopeful, but it's something that we have to keep asking for. to get.
Yeah, and as long as the signage, like, it directs to people who would answer the phone off season as well.
Right, and that's what I mean, it would be something like a toll-free number
Yeah.
or link to our site that where they can go online. If you go on our site, then you get the SPCA number, information right there. And that's only to the gate.
Yep.
So there was a misunderstanding there, it's just because you live in New River, you're not provincial, like. One person seemed to think, well, I live in New River, so I'm nothing to do with Fundy Shores, I can do what I want, it's at the gate. So beyond the gate is the park. This side of the gate is still Fundy Shores, so it's, but I truly get it, I don't. We're not trying or wanting to play hardball, it's just, we're trying to be fair to everybody.
And I do understand, like Ann and I have discussed previously, I got a lot of messages, I had a lot of people stop me up, just going about my day, asking like, what's going on? I always thought I could take my dog down to Carrying Cove Way. I thought I could bring them to New River that way, down Carrying Cove Road, and I said, no, dogs aren't allowed on the beach. And they said, well, that doesn't seem fair, because at Bucktooth Dunes, and they named 3 or 4 other much larger, no offense, than New River parks, they have designated dog areas where you can bring your dog down. They even have a kennel offering. And I said, that's certainly something to bring up to maybe Parks New Brunswick, that's something maybe they should offer, but dogs have not been allowed on that beach historically. They said, but I can take them up in the trail. Yeah, you can take them up in the trail. On leash at all times, and, oh, well, I've never put a leash
Take
up.
the dog on the beach on leash.
No. they're allowed on beach
So you
walk.
never could, it was just tolerated,
and stuff.
and now it's
If
no
they didn't
longer
pick up a
tolerated
dog-
because there's been a lot of that's.
Cause I got quite a few dogs, but they were on leash, except for
Yeah.
one that was
In
explained.
I've always seen.
the
funny dogs.
farthest end of New River,
Yeah.
which is not part of the province, people do take their dogs off leash, including their and that's private.
It's private, yeah,
Well, it's not, it's low tide, so it's not
Yeah.
all private, but
it's
yeah,
not.
they're using that way, the locals going on down through the pathway. That's their way.
And that's everywhere else too, so that's the other misconception outside of the park or the river is your dog still has to be on a leash. And it has to be under the owner's control. I always tell people, well, it's on the leash, but just because you have it on the leash doesn't mean you're controlling the dog. I've seen some.
Dogs are under control if they're not on
Right.
leash.
So
Yeah.
it has to be on a leash and has to be under your control. If you can't control your pet or your animal, then you're gonna have to contain it. Somewhere else on your property, but that's the way it is.
Maybe that new land that we.
$10 a minute, make our money back. Anyway, I just, like I said, it's been a lot the last month or so, and I just want people to know that we are working on it, it's not. Gone to the wayside, and we're hoping to get it back
Does it go,
before council.
does it go away when the summer goes away?
What?
A lot of the issues. It's-
I would say complaints,
Yeah,
complaints,
The complaints, I think they're minimized, but I mean, even the park, you still get them, it's just a couple, it's not.
small minority.
We are working on it. So, anything further on that? So leading into that, we will finally.
Perfect, beautiful segue. So I'm here about the dog control issue. As I think many of you know, or you've been apprised, that I was victim 0
Oh,
of
can
the
you,
most recent.
can you come up to the podium just as we are live?
I'm
just
live,
so-
okay. I was, I
And
guess
just
It does
state,
roll.
And yeah, just be careful. And the next thing, just to state your name and your address, just so
Okay.
people know just that you're Fundy Shoes.
I'm Sarah Blug of 1538 Route 790 in Dipper Harbor. And I'm here just to basically, I guess, follow up on the dog control bylaws. I was attacked 4 months ago by 2 dogs in my neighborhood. Denny, I love that you said earlier, dogs that are on leash have to be under control. They were on leash, 2 German Shepherds, and they were not under control. And the owner could not control them. They got off leash, bit me. And the SPCA basically couldn't do anything about it. Maybe because that was the first time it was reported that they'd bitten. But I was very adamant that these dogs have run out at me before. They've terrorized other people on the Campbell Road. And this is going to happen again. So it's happened 2 more times to other people. My neighbor, who I hold very dear to my heart, especially, who needs to walk for his health, and he couldn't walk for about a month after that. And basically, because I have been in contact with the deputy officer of the SPCA, I've been in contact with different officers in the SPCA. I'm not really getting anywhere with them. I do know that they have been in contact with the counselor, with you, Denny, and I know that there's legal issues, but basically the bylaws as they stand right now, they're very vague. They can't be enforced. So I'm just asking that when, I know you're working with the SPCA and legal to make bylaws that are actually enforceable. So I do ask that you do take this seriously and that it is expedited somewhat. I'd like to feel safe in my community again and to be able to walk. I do a lot of biking as well, and it'd be just nice if there was some type of consequence, because as of now, there is no consequence. And 2 really big scary dogs have bitten 3 people that we know of, and as of now, there's no consequence. So that's what I'm bringing to council, and I appreciate that you are taking this very seriously, and I do appreciate that you did mention that you're going to expedite it, and you did mention earlier that I think it was something 15 times something should be done. Hopefully it's not 15 times. Because when dogs do attack, they get more and more vicious, and I do worry about children. I worry about elderly, people who cannot defend themselves and are not strong enough. So I do take this very seriously, and I hope you do too. And that's all I have to say.
No, thank you for
Okay.
sharing that, and we certainly will.
Thank
I think, yeah, some of the statements I made were just that, they're
Yeah,
blanket statements,
yeah.
because it is up to council, not
Yeah.
up to me to
Yeah.
make the final decision. But when I say expedite, it's for us, there is a process in
Yes.
place that we have to go through 3 readings, and the public has to have a chance to speak on it. So we are hoping to, between now and October, to have that finalized. It just depends on how much depth there is from council and if the discussion change. So, yeah, no, we're hoping.
Thank you, and I hope there is discussion. I hope there's lots of questions, and not just okay, and take it as it is, because it is pretty serious and it is scary.
I will say, keep an eye on our website and social media, because when it does come up for discussion gets to the 2nd, 3rd readings, that it will go or be available for public to come in and
Okay.
you know, I'd not say make changes, but it'll be at least give your voice back to council to say you agree or disagree
Okay,
with whatever, and they'll take that into consideration.
wonderful.
All right,
Okay, great, thank you.
thank you. All right, closed session, did we have nothing? Next meetings, committee of the whole is August 19th at 6 P.M. Regular council meeting, next one will be September 2nd at 6 P.M. Bay of Fundy Sand Sculpture Festival is this weekend, August 7th, 9th at New River Beach. And Community Days is August 14th to 16th, don't forget.
Can I just add that the community, Fundy Shores yard sale is on Saturday? The
Yes.
8th is what?
And that's this Saturday, so this Saturday, August 8th is the Fundy Shores wide community yard sale. And on that, just, I'm sure everybody's aware, as Jane does do a great job at it. just as a reminder, the bridge is still out in Chance Harbor. So just if you have to make a round wherever, I don't know where all the yard sale ones at.
I
But-
don't think there's too many.
Yeah,
in
just,
it,
just so you
there's
know
one
that
in
you do
the
have to make that
one.
loop back around to go down through Dipper Harbor, so the bridge is still out, we're hoping to have that. Up and running and going by October and
Mm.
more weeks, so end of October. Any other announcements? Great, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
I said.
Moved and second.